We landed in Amatillo, Oregon. As you can see behind me is the falls, and it's quite a spectacular view from out here. We were standing in front of the Grand Tetons.
Quite the view.
Just a little windy out there.
Just a lot windy. Finally got my hat back on.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose it over the railing.
You would have lost it.
And just a little clarification, this is Devil Canyon Outlook.
So we're at the Grand Coulee Dam. You can see it behind me here. Thinking about our U.S. trip and reminiscing a little bit about where we'd been and what our favorite places were. And we are going to start this out here, but we might be moving it in because it's a little windy and I'm not sure if this is all picking up on the speaker properly.
And the microphone. Since we had a fuzzy mic that bit the biscuit and we haven't gotten a new one yet, so...
Did it ever really work?
Oh, it worked a couple of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had two different ones, and they worked each the first time we ever used it, and then never again.
Yeah,
so
they
got returned
from the same company. Yeah, it was.
Oh well. Live and learn.
Yeah, live and learn. I still believe in going to the store and purchasing product with a name brand on it. But that's just me. So wrapping up our U.S. time of our trip, and some of the things we learned, Brent.
We learned that we're not traveling in June anymore.
Not in the mountains, anyways.
Yeah, true enough. The last 2 years, June has been horrific for us. Mainly floods. Weather systems that have rolled through the areas that we're going to or that we have just been were not compatible with happy camping.
So we'll talk more about that later. Yeah, when in June the weather's unpredictable, and then you have snow melting off a mountain. So if you're going to a mountainous area or somewhere near a mountain, there's probably going to be water issues.
Which British Columbia has plenty of mountains.
We should have known because we live in BC. I don't know. I don't know.
That's just one of the things that we've learned. Last June was bad. This June was bad. So we are not traveling in June anymore.
No. Last June in 2021, at the end of June, we had the heat dome.
Oh, that was
a different animal.
Yeah, but the rivers were still flowing pretty high.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's where I almost drowned.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So that's why I don't like June.
So in the future, I think we're going to wait till all the nastiness of the winter melt happens, and maybe we'll do our traveling in August.
Works for me.
All right. So we covered 6 states, 5 of which were new to us. I've waited 2 years. But today, I get my Oregon sticker. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Ooh, oi!
Stayed in another state. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but here we go. Let's put the sticker on. Where is it? We stayed in the state of Utah last night, so we get to put our sticker up. There we go. close. We get our, hang on, I've lost track. 1, 2, 3. Our 4th sticker on our map today. We slept in Wyoming last night. Good morning from Basin, Montana, which means I get the Montana sticker. Last sticker of the trip. Drum roll. There we go. Ta-da! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we went to 3 different national parks.
Yes.
Only got into 2. We'll get to
Yeah, well, we had fun.
We did.
Yeah, it was definitely an eye-opener. Yeah, we really enjoyed ourselves with the places that we did go to due to constraints of not being allowed to go into certain places. Does that make sense?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the limitations of our visits in a little bit. Inside, because it's actually, despite it being nice and warm outside, it's a little bit chilly with this wind, and I'm not sure how much of this is getting picked up on the mic, so we're going to meet you back inside. Now we're settled in with Bailey. Hello, Bailey.
Oh, well, she's not settled in though.
Oh, no, she's going to chew on me for a while. That's okay. We talked about things that we learned in the states that we have covered in a very short period of time. One of the things I learned, and we talked about the other day, was that we maybe need to have longer drive days.
Yes.
So we can stay in certain locations a little bit longer. And maybe leave out some of the little stops.
Yeah, currently I like to drive 3, 4, maybe 5 hours. I'm thinking about kicking it up to 6 or 7 hours, and then just stay 1 or 2 extra nights in those places that we have found as larger stones instead of just hopping along a map.
Yeah, because you don't really get the rest that we need to move on to the next stop.
Plus, we don't get the full enjoyment of a place when we're just there for one night.
Yeah, so there's a few places that we will talk about in a bit that we would have liked to have stayed a little bit longer.
Absolutely. There are a few of those.
You know, it's a work in progress, so we're learning as we go along the way. Highlights.
Number 1 for me, Shoshone Falls. It was beautiful. We were able to drive right down to the falls. It's a very touristy place, but it wasn't really crowded. It was busy, but it was just gorgeous. I just absolutely loved going to Shoshone Falls. It was fantastic.
That was in Idaho, and here's the clips on that. Things before we got to Shoshone Falls that I liked was the Umatilla RV Park.
Oh, the Umatilla RV Park. I believe it's in Umatilla, Oregon, just north of Hermiston, right on the border of Washington.
Yep.
And the park that we stayed at, it was Umatilla RV Park and Marina, I do believe.
Yep.
And we were overlooking the water, overlooking the Columbia River, right beside the bridge that goes to Washington State, and it was beautiful. The grass was just so soft, and the dogs had a blast there. There was a huge parking lot that they could run, and it was a really nicely laid out park.
Lots of spaces to walk, and
plus it's a good sound.
Okay, yeah, that was a good sound.
Yeah,
okay,
that was a bonus.
And it was just pretty. Like, I look back on the pictures and I just kind of went, wow, I wish we could have stayed there one or two more nights and maybe checked out the area around there.
I would have liked that, yes. That was one of the things that I was disappointed at. We only stayed there the one night.
We landed in Umatilla, Oregon. We're right here by the marina. We have waterfront, sort of. And the girls are happy to be out of the truck, that's for sure. Just a small marina right along the Columbia River. Just using it as a jumping off point to get on to the next thing, which was Why Not Winery.
Why Not Winery,
which is where we went off to Shoshone Falls.
Yeah, that was where we stayed when we went to Shoshone Falls.
So I came down to this platform. We didn't bring the dogs down here because the steps are metal grate, so we decided that we would just come down one at a time and take our pictures that we wanted to take. So, as you can see in behind me is the falls, and it's quite a spectacular view from out here. There is one more.
The fossils.
The Hagerman fossils?
Hagerman fossils. Hagerman horse fossils. That was a nice little...
That was interesting.
Yeah. A nice little break from the norm.
Item was, for me, I enjoyed the Grand Tetons.
It was nice, but from where we were camping for a few nights, it was a 2.5 hour drive, 2 and 3/4 hour drive. That was a bit much.
The drive from Lander, Wyoming to the Grand Tetons and then Jacksonville, it was a full day. Jackson Hole,
Wyoming.
Jackson, Wyoming. It was a full day that we spent, and I think we got back, it was basically dinner time. We had lunch in Jackson, and then we wanted to drive along the back route through
go up one of the
Grand Teton Village.
Yeah, Grand Teton Village.
We were standing in front of the Grand Tetons.
Quite the view.
I'd like to thank Corey and Jesse from finding our someday. We didn't take a picture with our trailer attached.
Our trailer's still in Lander.
And which we're going back to. So we just did a day trip to cruise past the Grand Teton Outlook. We're on to Jackson, where we're going to have a bit of lunch. And Brent's going to find his sticker. So.
One thing that I was very disappointed at, like extremely disappointed, beyond very disappointed, was when we left Lander, Wyoming to go to see the Tetons and then on to Jackson, we found that the U.S. military, the actual name of it, National Museum of Military Vehicles. It was something that I really wanted to see that I did not know existed, and I thought we would have time on the way back from Jackson. And after driving for about 6 hours, we were on our way back to our RV, and they were closed. And we were not coming back to that area anytime soon. It was in Dubois, Wyoming. Americans pronounce it Du Bois, which is all well and good. If you're in there, if you live there, you can call it whatever you like. Being Canadian, we call it Dubois. It's a French name. Sorry. But anyways, that was one major disappointment for me. And if we're ever back in that area again, that is on my checklist that we will have to stop and see.
Okay. Next up was Cody,
Wyoming.
which is our jumping off point to go to Yellowstone. But sadly, Yellowstone was closed.
Yeah, we were there the week that it was closed.
So it's official. The park is still closed and probably won't be opening before Monday, which is when we leave next year. Here's something more positive that we can maybe drive through a section of it. It's kind of out of our way. But yeah, we aren't going to get to go into the park. We will go we will go take a picture in front of the National Park's Yellowstone sign, and yeah, that's it.
Closed for 7 or 8 days.
No, we heard about the flooding on the Monday after we were on the road. We heard about it on the Monday. We were there the following Saturday, and I mean we were already on the road. So what do you do?
Yeah, we had all our reservations, all our plans. So we showed up, I think, 2 or 3 days after they closed and left, and then they opened 3 days after we left. Mm-hmm. So we were in Cody, Wyoming for 3 full days. We did find a couple other things that were really cool to see. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things in Cody. The Buffalo Bill Museum is basically 5 museums in one complex, and I would have loved to have gone there. We did a few things outside. We did not go into the museums because we were in the process of planning different things to make up for our missed Yellowstone visit. We ended up going to what was it called?
It was Bighorn National Park.
And Devil's Outlook. It was just fantastic.
Just a little windy out there.
Just a lot windy. Finally got my hat back on.
Yeah.
I didn't want to lose it over the railing.
You would have lost it.
And just a little clarification, this is Devil Canyon Outlook.
Yeah, on the Bighorn.
Sorry, Devil Canyon Overlook. I don't want to get it wrong. It is on the west side of Devil Canyon.
Okay. The only thing I could have done without was the wind.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very windy. And it was also the opportunity to see some wild horses. But we didn't.
We did not get the chance for that because it was in a different direction than Devil's Outlook.
Yeah, but there was the meadow that the girl was telling us that they were there.
They were there sometimes.
She had seen them on the way to work. And we saw evidence of horses, but we did not see the horses. Anyways, after we left Cody, Wyoming, our next stop that was of point was Glacier National Park. I had big expectations of this. Not only the Going to the Sun road, I really wanted to get some amazing pictures. I've always seen pictures of the lake with the rocks that have all the vibrant colors and everything like that. And I did get some pretty good shots, but again, the water was so high, there was like a layer of debris in the way, and they weren't the same shots I was hoping to get. So again, the time of year kind of...
Yeah, the timing, that's all in the timing.
And...
Oh well.
The other thing was, well, we couldn't go the entire length of the Going to the Sun road because there was a major snowfall.
They had a large snowfall 2 days before we got there, and most of that highway Going to the Sun road past McDonald Lake right up to the peak was shut down. They had about 2.5-3 feet of snow, which is not good for just driving around and taking pictures.
What's going on here, Brent?
So we have a minor weather issue, although we're sitting in shorts and sandals, and it's a beautiful day out, and we are stuck at West Glacier Rail Depot. We wanted to go a little bit further. We can't even get to Apgar, what do you call it, visitor center, which is, the rangers have stopped us because we don't have a pass for today. After 4 p.m. today, we are allowed to go past that and then up the east side or southeast side of Lake McDonald. And if we go past that, we are allowed to go as far as we can, but Avalanche Creek is where everything is being shut off. Anything on the, well, anything past that, they've had 2.5 to 3 feet of snow, and nobody's allowed past that point. So the going to the Sun Road is sort of a bust. We're gonna go check out the south perimeter of the lake and go check out Two Medicine.
Yeah, what's the lake there?
This is Two Medicine Lake.
Oh, okay.
And then we have Running Eagle Falls, lower Two Medicine Lake,
Okay.
and then lower Two Medicine River as well.
All right.
And it's very bright and sunshiny out here, so it's hard to believe that half hour down the road they've got 2.5 feet of snow.
That's pretty fun. Was Grand Coulee Dam.
Grand Coulee Dam was a nice surprise. The town of Grand Coulee, it doesn't have a lot of amenities for what we were looking for, which was fine. We went out for dinner once, found a really good Mexican restaurant, and but the dam itself, we went on a tour, went down inside the dam, saw the generators, read up on the history of it, and it was fascinating. Mm-hmm. It's actually the largest, I think it was the largest concrete structure in North America.
In the U.S.
And second largest in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and because the water level was so high, it was rather magnificent of what was coming through the dam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, had we gone later in the year, it might not have been quite so magnificent. We're at the Grand Coulee Dam. You can see it behind me here. We did make the laser light show. Brent powered out, and I was like, yeah, I'm out too.
Yeah, I'm not a night person. I'm still accustomed to my waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning to go to work, so some things change in time. Once we're fully retired, that might change.
Yeah.
And I'll be able to watch a laser show at 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, Bailey. And I must say, Bailey's a pretty good little traveler. She can't wait to get in the truck, but when we stop at some place where she thinks she has to get out, she can't wait to get out of the truck.
She's always first in and always first out.
Yeah, and
always.
She's still chewing. She's quite the beast. Anyway, so that was our thoughts on our 5 new states that we visited.
Yes.
And there's so much more to see, and we will be going back to some of those locations. We'll go back to Yellowstone.
Yeah, we've got to go into Yellowstone. I've still got to see Old Faithful.
And we have to go back to Glacier and, find those shots that I have seen other people get. I really would like to take those photographs. I might have to do some more hiking, though, and a little more research on it.
And I'd like to head to eastern Wyoming and eastern Montana as well, and then on into the Dakotas. There's so much to see that I want to see.
Okay. Ow. But that's all in the future. Next week, we have some exploring we're going to be doing in the Grand Forks area. And then we're also going to do a pit stop at a new place for us at in Merritt, and that's at Quilchena RV Park
on Nicola Lake.
We will get to those things too, because our traveling is not done. We will catch you next week.
Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And ring that bell for notifications.
We're just sitting here contemplating thinking about our US trip. Let's start that again. No, Bailey, you stay down. Stay down.
What I want to play.
I know you want to play. Move this. Just in case. Are you running up? Okay, come on. Come on.
There's our 50-pound lap dog.
Come on. Up!
You don't need this, do you?
Yeah, I do. Okay. No chewing.
None of that. No. No
Okay.
chewing. No.
Can we start now?
No.
Can we start now, Bailey?
No. So.
Sorry, I was busy with Bailey.
Okay, well.
Bailey, please stop biting me. The pause. Okay, stop.